Hi, Linda. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Lovely to be here, Lana. Thank you for the time and thank you for inviting me to this incredible forum that you created and that you host on a regular basis.
Sure. As all of you know, Linda is the CEO of Sorbet Group, and we're delighted to have her on board because, as many of you know, the beauty industry contributes so much to the GDP, and yet it's kind of underplayed in the franchising sector as a whole. It only takes up a small sliver of the sector. So just to kind of firstly zoom in, Linda, into the Sorbet brand, can you tell us about how the brand has grown and is a household name and how it really got to that point?
Sure. I think it's an incredible story, and I think a lot of people who understand and who follow the Sorbet brand will know that we had an incredible founder called Ian Furr,
Yes.
who
Yes.
started the brand in 2005.
Yes.
He was having a massage and, with his therapist, and his therapist said, there's an opportunity for a branded offering within the beauty space. And, the response always from Ian was, well, I don't have a face for beauty and I don't know anything about beauty. But the reality is Ian knew very well how to create incredible businesses. Being an entrepreneur from where he came from. And even previously, he's created incredible, business models that have been so
Yes.
centered around people. And in the business of beauty, which is such a personalized industry, people are core, fundamental to the success of any brand within the space. And so he started the brand. He bought a handful of existing salons in the beauty industry. The first one was in Bedford View, and then he expanded in and around Johannesburg, and he converted them into the brand that we know today called Sorbet. It looked quite different in 2005. And they
Yeah.
were all corporate-owned stores. And for many years, he really defined the business model, refined the business model until he was ready to take it into a franchising space, which is where we are today. We have 200 stores across the country, across 5 brands. So it's not just about the Sorbet salon business, it's predominantly what people know. But it's
Yes.
about Sorbet hair bars, it's about Sorbet Man, it's about Sorbet nail bars, and also our Candy & Co brand, which we have up in Johannesburg. So we've expanded that franchise model not only for Sorbet salons, but across all of those brands. And as we say, 200 stores strong, and we're 18 years young this year. I always say,
Wow.
Africa.
Amazing.
We really are a young brand. And I mean, if you think about many successful South African brands that have been started in South Africa, it's that we're young and there's lots of opportunity for growth and for development. And we're very excited about the future of Sorbet and the road ahead of Sorbet. So, that's really where it started. It started in Johannesburg. And in 2008, 2009, Ian decided to franchise the business. Because as you
Yes.
know, franchising gives you the opportunity to really expand your brand and really achieve the growth that you would want to in the markets, like South Africa, in a retail market like South Africa. It's a business model that's been proven over the years, and it really allows people the opportunity to create their own businesses within a well-framed structure, and with the support of a franchisor, which really has been part of our success and the success of the Sorbet growth over the last kind of, what is it, when he started, I think his first store was in 2009 when he started franchising. But really, I mean, it's been a phenomenal success story over the last 18 years. And we look forward to seeing the rest of the success for the next decade.
Yes, absolutely. And I read somewhere that Sorbet doesn't do boring. I think that's part of its
No,
philosophy.
not at all. No, and I think, it's been part of our success, and I'm sure we'll talk about it as we go through the next, couple of minutes together. Has really been around building a brand that's been led by a very, very strong culture. A lot of people, obviously interviewed Ian in the past and myself and said, how's Sorbet been so successful? Because, as you said, it's such a small part of the beauty industry, Sorbet, in terms of the franchise model. We've got a lot of independent salons out there. But it really has been, a lot of people can do nails, a lot of people can do hair services, a lot of people, can do skin services or facials, etc. But I think the fundamental difference of Sorbet and part of its success is it was built with an incredibly strong base of a strong culture And
Yeah.
Ian now, even to this day, I mean, he's gone on to run another business called Cultureneering. So he's an
Yes.
avid belief and firm believer in driving culture and putting people before profits, because I think that is so important to the success of Sorbet, is how we fundamentally invested in our people, because we understand if you invest in your people, your profits will naturally come. And that's been part of the culture in which we've kind of inherently established and continue to establish within Sorbet. And then most importantly, around how do we differentiate our experience in
Yeah.
the industry and really offers kind of this platform of passionate service. How do we deliver a unique experience to our guests that fundamentally sets us apart from many of the other salons within the South African landscape?
Yes. And I see that not only in your brand diversification, but in each brand, it's got, like you say, its own culture and its own kind of flavor, so to speak. And it really does. And I really think you've capitalized on that. Like, use the strong brand and the culture that goes around it to capitalize on that and create different brands that really speak to people and target a particular market.
Yeah. And no, I completely agree with you. The Sorbet, as we call it, the mother brand, is really strong in terms of culture and service. And then we said, how do we take that and address other grooming needs, everyday grooming needs within the South African landscape, meeting our guest needs where they are. So, our hair bar was started as dry bars in
Yeah.
2012. That was a brand that was, a concept that was well known in the US. And was the first of its kind in South Africa. So we opened up dry bars, which is, quite unique in terms of offering just blow dry facilities. We've now expanded those offerings into more color and cut. So we renamed and rebranded dry bars at the back end of 2021 into calling them hair bars, which has been really, really well received and accepted by our guests, because we don't just offer blow dries anymore. We offer a full color and cut service
Yes.
and a
Right.
full hair facility, which is fantastic because it also talks to the needs of a broader demographic within South Africa that accommodates all hair types, which is what we're very proud of around our diversity and
Yes.
our
Yes.
inclusivity.
Yes.
We also took the Sorbet man brand, or Sorbet brand, should I say, and we said, right, male grooming. And if I think about the growth of male grooming over the last couple of years, it's
Yeah.
been exorbitant. I mean, I just think about the men in my life, how they groom versus where they were
Yes.
5
Absolutely.
and it really is such a
Absolutely.
phenomenal growth opportunity for the brand to say, we've predominantly focused for females, within the salon brands. How do we accommodate and create demand for male grooming through our Sorbet Man brand? So once again, leveraging the halo effect of the mother brand and
Yeah.
taking it to, a diverse or a different channel that deals with male grooming. And it's been fantastic to see the kind of the man cave, what we call the man cave that we've created within the
I love
Sorbet
that.
brand. It really is, they get
Yes.
tea and
Wonderful.
yeah, and they create, they have fantastic chats about politics and business and sport and all of those good things that come with men when they get together. And yeah, and it is a phenomenal, phenomenal success story. The brand is incredible. The
Yeah.
experience for a male in a male grooming environment is wonderful. They feel relaxed, they feel at ease. And it really is globally, male grooming is one of the fastest growing sectors in the
Absolutely.
and
Sure.
we're
That,
starting to
that
make
is
that in
amazing.
South Africa. So once again, a fully fledged male grooming salon, first of its kind in South Africa, that we opened up in 2014. So next year it will be 10 years old as a brand, and yeah, fantastic opportunity for growth around the country with our Sorbet Man footprint as well. And then obviously, our nail bars, which is the other brand that we have within our space, is really an extension of our salon environment, but it only focuses on nails. It doesn't focus on facial treatments and body massages, etc. It does do
Right.
some facial waxing, but it doesn't do full body waxing. So really focused on nails, because we saw the growth of the nail industry, especially with the introduction of brands like Gelish into the nail sector, and that really fundamentally defined what the nail industry was. And
Yeah.
we embraced it, and we've been the forefront and the leaders within the nail industry within South Africa. And that has really allowed our nail bars to stand on their own 2 feet. Before they were kind of an extension of our salons, but now they really are a unique brand that offers fantastic nail services within the space in which they operate around the country. And then last but not least, we expanded into Canyon Co, which is not under the Sorbet umbrella, but it
Oh,
really
right.
providing the infrastructure to the Candy & Co. franchise partners with what we've established within Sorbet was really, really beneficial in terms of understanding that there was an inherent need for a professional beauty salon within the Afro-textured hair, within that black hair market.
Yes,
And,
yes,
and that's where they saw the gap. And Ian, with the founder, Candice Thurston, established this brand called Candy & Co. that are really experts and understand what is required by those guests within that space. And we have 5 stores in Johannesburg, and we're looking to grow that format moving forward, which is fantastic. But really, and they leverage the franchising system that we provide our Sorbet franchise partners, and they
yes,
use that within the Candy & Co space. So not also once again, just understanding that you can use a business system to facilitate other brands and other opportunities
yes,
if your business
yes.
system is found within a franchising environment.
Absolutely. And I see with Sorbet, you're always kind of ahead of the times. Like you kind of that diversification. And the other day when I'm Schlange, we're walking in a center and there we saw Checkers Baby and Checkers Outdoor and Checkers. And you guys were one of the first to really come up with diversifying your brand and homing in on a specific target market, which is really something to be proud of. You guys are always on the go and always,
Yeah.
thinking forward.
Yeah, and I think, also as part of the growth and the opportunities, understanding our guest needs is always so important, for any franchise business, really understanding your unique differentiator and what your guests are actually looking for.
Looking for.
And how we've evolved some of our trading formats over the last few years, which has been so critical coming out of COVID. This one size fits all doesn't necessarily work anymore. Also retail space is becoming more diversified, and you really need to find ways in order to tap into the space available, as well as addressing your kind of guests, or we call them guests. Everybody's a guest in our home at Sorbet, understanding their needs. And what we have established and what we've launched in the last, well, what is it, since October 2021, so probably around like the last 18 months, we've launched a new format called a hybrid format. It's a kind of an internal name, but what it does is it takes our hair salon or our hair bar and our beauty salon, and it provides one retail space where you can accommodate both a hair salon and a beauty salon in one space. So it really is a convenient one-stop shop for beauty, to meet all our guests' beauty needs. And we've got 7 of them around the country. And we're looking to grow that format because the convenience aspect of being able to come into a Sorbet and saying, okay, I want my hair done, as well as a facial, and as well as my nails being done, as well as having a wax. It really is a one-stop beauty shop, and our guests are absolutely loving it. And we're seeing that in the return on investment from those franchise partners that have opened up what we call a hybrid format, but it really is a combination of a hair bar and a beauty salon together. We're also looking to see how we can create other hybrid formats that really make sense for our brand moving forward, but it really is the business model that we're seeing the most growth in over the last 18 months. So once again, an innovative way to utilize retail space better, and to meet your consumer needs as providing convenience in a one-stop beauty shop.
Yes, right. And I mean, your distribution channel is also amazing with your distribution in Clicks and your association with Clicks. So it's very wisely done, your distribution and how you actually reach your target market.
And I think, that's always part of, of a franchise success, is to say, how do you diversify your offering, and what are the distribution channels that you can use to do that, to get your product to consumers or to guests? Because, getting your brand out there is so important. And I think, the partnership with Clicks has been an incredible partnership. It started in 2011, and I think the story or the legacy goes, it took Ian about 11 seconds to say yes when they approached Sorbet to be part of their affinity program. And, that's really where the partnership started. They saw the opportunity to align with a franchise or professional brand like Sorbet, because we provide the professional services and treatments through all of our salons and our stores across the country. But really, it's been an incredible partnership. So we started as an affinity as an affinity partner, where you can earn your Clicks loyalty points or your Club Card points. At a Sorbet, you can't burn them, but you can earn them at a Sorbet. You still got to go in and burn them in a Clicks store. And then the relationship grew to developing the Sorbet range of retail products that you can find on the shelves within Clicks. and within Sorbet. And I think that's also been part of the incredible success of what Clicks has brought to the table over the last, what is it now, since 2011, over the last 12 years. So we've been partners within each other's businesses. And they really have been phenomenal in terms of helping us grow our retail offering, our Sorbet retail offering across every aspect of our business, whether it's the Sorbet Man range, whether it's our hair bar range, whether it's our body products, our nail products. They really have created the awareness of the Sorbet brand outside of what we've created within the salon environment. And I think it works so well for us because we provide the professionalism that is needed for the product range that supports that professional beauty treatment and products that we sell. And it really has been a very well trusted partnership over the last 12 years, which has been fantastic. Yeah, and I think, our entrepreneurial spirit, our agility, our market leadership within the professional and beauty and grooming space aligns well to them. They are leaders within beauty within South Africa. So, we both provide the support that we need to grow the brand moving forward.
Yeah, yeah. And, also looking at your actual stores and the franchisees, one always gets such a feeling of being welcomed when one walks into a Sorbet. And I know you refer to franchisees as family and citizens, I think is the term you use. Tell us more about how you've got that culture of
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
how
so you broke up a little bit then, Ilana. Sorry, say that again.
I was just saying that, your franchisees are something special. When you walk into a Sorbet outlet, you feel that kind of power and you guys have really instilled that with franchisees, the franchise citizen, the family kind of culture. How have you done that and kept it going over all these years?
Yeah, and I mean it's been an incredible story. As we always say, build your brand on the why, not the what you do and how you do it, but why you do it every single. And
Yes.
that talks to your culture. Because if you just focus on the what and the how, you're not going to create that competitive advantage. And I do think, Ian's foresight around really building a brand off the base of a strong culture really
Yeah.
fundamental to the success of Sorbet over the past 18 years. And it is, we call it the soul of Sorbet. There's been books that have been written about the soul of Sorbet. And even before I went to the brand, I read this incredible book that Ian wrote, and I thought, sure, if this is true, oh my goodness, that this is a place I definitely want to be associated with and definitely want to be affiliated with, because part of my own values in life is about how do I create a difference to people that I come across, whether it's in some small shape or form every single day. How do I change somebody's life for the better? And that was really the culture that Ian built. We don't have a mission statement, we have a purpose. We all work towards a higher purpose. Every single person in this organization works towards a higher purpose, whether it is our citizens, as you say. Everybody's a citizen of Sorbet. I'm a citizen of Sorbet. The lady that makes you tea in your salon is a citizen of Sorbet. And we really are about the servant leadership mindset. And that is part of our culture. We are here to serve our guests. As a franchisor, we are here to serve our franchise partners. And we don't refer to them as franchisees, we refer to them as franchise partners, because it is exactly that. We're in a partnership together. And I think in any successful franchise business, you have to have the right partners on board and strategic partners on board that can help you grow your business. And that's been the fundamental role of our franchise partners through this journey. And they are partners within this journey. We are not successful as a franchisor if our franchise partners aren't successful.
Yes,
And vice
absolutely.
versa. And and then the concept of citizens, we are all part of one community. And we work hard in terms of building that community, that Sorbet community. We do culture training every single month. I personally do culture training every single month across the country, with franchise partners, with existing citizens that have been in the network for 15, 16 years, and also with new citizens that have just come in. And I think it is really important in order to keep your culture alive. It's not something that you can just put up on a wall and expect people to believe in. You have to live the values every single day, train on it, cultivate it in store. And I think that has been fundamentally our success. It's not something that we let go easily. We're constantly working, building that culture within our organization, through our franchise partners, through our citizens, in terms of every engagement that we do. Yes, we're not going to get it right 100% of the time, but as long as we're working to get it right 99% of the time,
Yeah.
that's part of the success. And as we say, having the right franchise partners on board that can support that vision and support that culture has been so important. We go through a very, very rigorous interview process and recruitment process for franchise partners that are interested in coming into Sorbet, because that part is so important. As I say, you can teach skill. You can't teach somebody to have a servant leadership mindset or to
Yes.
help you grow your culture. So going through those rigorous interview processes, really understanding who they are as people, what their objectives are, where they've come from, what drives them, what motivates them, and to see that they're going to align with the values of Sorbet and the culture of Sorbet has been so important for us to grow our franchise network through our franchise partners, because we can't do it alone. So, that culture is what it is. As I said, it's founded off the philosophy of putting people before profits and also delivering an exceptionally passionate service. And that's ultimately what we train on and what we do every single day within our organization. We talk about this kind of people before profits because we understand if you're looking after your people, you're growing your people, you're giving them the opportunity for development and to change their lives fundamentally, to be the best versions of themselves. That your store will work well. That if you invested in your people, your brand will perform and your store will perform. And ultimately, the Sorbet brand will grow and perform. And that's been the philosophy for many, many years, and will continue to be so for many, many years to come. And, also around this kind of servant leadership mindset, as I've said, we are there to serve our franchise partners are there to serve their citizens, and the citizens are there to serve their guests. So we're all in the service mindset, and how we can create that servant leadership mindset is also something that we engage and train on a regular basis. Part of our culture is also around our service philosophy. We have loud and proud on all of our walls. If we are not happy with your service, you don't have to pay. And yeah, we often get asked, doesn't that get abused? Doesn't that get taken for granted? And yes, probably 1% of the time it does, but we're not going to put it there for the 99% of the time where it is really, really, truly valuable to our guests. Because if we are serious about service and we want to live the values of what we believe that we can do, we need to put our money where our mouth is. And it's not just words on the wall, but it is really a philosophy that we buy into and we live every single day.
Yeah. And you can really see that coming across with all your stores and the people that go to the stores. It really is amazing. Just off the cuff, I wanted to ask you something. You spoke about the ideal profile of a franchisee. And I've been seeing a lot lately that the franchisees, not necessarily technically skilled, but they've got the business kind of savvy to run that particular franchise. So just out of interest, do your franchisees need to be nail technicians?
Not at all, actually. Not at all. They don't need to be beauty therapists. They don't need to be hairstylists. No, not at all. It's actually interesting because we have a kind of mixed group of franchise partners. Some of them are therapists, some mostly therapists, but mostly business people that have either come out of corporate or have come out of other environments like teaching, and they want to be their own business, their own business owners. And a typical, we always say to franchise partners, we need you to be everything all at once, but what you don't need to have is the technical skills in order to be able to run a Sorbet brand, but you need to have some level of business acumen. You need to be able to understand what it means to grow people and to have a very strong people focus in your business. And also you have to love dealing with people, because franchising is that, you can't come into a franchise as a franchise owner and think it's going to be a part-time job. We always say to people, it's a full-time job within Sorbet, and it honestly is. Those successful franchise partners are working on their business and in their business every single day. And, people kind of look at me when I say that, strangely. But it is, you can't just sit in your business and think that, because you're there, it's going to be successful. Yes, you have to be there because you are the face of your business, you are the brand ambassador, and people want to see, especially in a personalized industry like the beauty industry, they want to see the face. the face of the business owner. I've been in franchising for the better part of 16 years now, and the beauty industry is very, very different. You have to, it is so personal. And, to have to be there in your business is so important for your guests to see that you're the owner, that you're in your business, that you're invested in your people, you're invested in them when they come into your salon. But you also as a franchise owner need to work on your business. So that is driving your business within your community every single day. There's no shortcuts. The good old saying of pound the pavements, invest in your community, get integrated into your community. No matter what franchise business you're in, you have to get there. So, so those are the people that are working on their business every single day, dealing with their guests, finding ways to do collaboration, working with their centers, really building that incredible experience where you can really feel the brand within the community in which you operate, and that it's loved, and that word of mouth is out there and promoting your brand for you because you are part of them and part of that community. So yeah, so that, we don't need you to be a CA, we don't need you to be an HR expert. That's the benefit of a franchise structure. We provide you with those tools and that ongoing knowledge and understanding for you to run your business. But you have to have some level of business acumen, love people because you're dealing with people, and really be willing to learn and adapt outside the box sometimes. We always want our franchise partners to think inside the box, within the franchise structure, but also also outside the box. Because it is. You own the business because you want to put your own entrepreneurial flair into the business. So that's the out-of-box thinking, but understand and respect that the franchise structure is a structured approach to business that has been proven to be successful over many, many years. So yeah, recruiting of your franchise partners is probably one of the most critical aspects for every franchise business to be successful. And that they buy into your values and they can support your growth and your brand moving forward.
Yeah. We interviewed Greg Solomon of McDonald's recently, and he calls it freedom within a framework. And that kind of encapsulates what franchising is, really. You do a lot for the community as well. You had a Sorbet Premier program where you got people to apply to be a franchise partner. Can you tell us a bit about how that worked?
Sure. So, I think where we started, Sorbet in terms of putting people before profits comes with empowerment. It comes with allowing people through socioeconomic development initiatives, to better themselves, to provide them opportunities and the knowledge to be able to kind of serve better and to be better in terms of their skills. So part of what we do within Sorbet, we have a very well-run, well-infrastructured training department within every single region around the country. I mean, last year alone, if I can just take you back there, last year alone, we put 10,500 people, we employ 3,000 people within our network and looking to grow. And we obviously put 10,500 people, so obviously citizens came more than once for training through our training facilities. And we conduct about 126 different trainings every single month across our various training facilities. So we're very, very entrenched in terms of growing the skills and development of our citizens so that they can expand their offerings, expand what they're able to serve their guests with in terms of different treatments, etc. Their knowledge base is so important because we understand if we're investing in them and their growth, that obviously the profit side will come. So part of that kind of people before profit evolved into, before we launched Sorbet Premier, we started with SO Foundation. And SO stands for Sorbet Empowering Women and Men. And that was a foundation that was established a good couple of years ago, I think probably about 9 years ago. And that was really around empowering people that would never have had the opportunity to learn the skills of a nail tech, a therapist, a barber, a hairstylist, etc. But they were so passionate about the beauty industry, but from previously disadvantaged communities, they would never have had the financial means in order to be able to study and to learn those skills. So Ian obviously started the SO Foundation, where we raised funds through various initiatives like selling bracelets, selling masks in COVID, everyone sold masks, even through the sale of our products, through the sale of our flip-flops, etc. Various initiatives where we raise funds. Guests can even come and donate 10 Rand, when they close their bill or when they pay for their services. support the Sow Foundation. And what that does, it provides those people from previously disadvantaged communities the opportunity to learn a skill, to provide them sustainable employment, which is so needed in South Africa. We need to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. And, we've been able to put through about 146 people through the Sow Foundation. And we still have many, many therapists, nail techs, barbers, etc., that we've been able to fund and support so that they can get a skill and they can have sustainable employment moving forward. So we're extremely proud of where we started with that. Previously it was always about people that were outside of the Sorbet community. So if you weren't employed, but you wanted to learn a skill, you could apply, and we would then fund those various people. They would then have the opportunity to become citizens of Sorbet and work within Sorbet to create the sustainable employment, or go on to work elsewhere, but allowing them to get employment elsewhere. So that's really where we started, around giving back to the community. And it was our way of giving back not only to the community, but to the industry, to say, how do we encourage skills and development of skills within our industry? And the Sow Foundation was part of that, together with what we offer within our training facilities. And it's been an incredible journey. I mean, I just talked to those Sow candidates and I just watched them come through our ranks and where they are today, and it really is, it's incredible. We could probably sit and talk about them for the next half an hour, which I won't do. But we then brought that Sow initiative in-house as well, because we've understood that a lot of our citizens in-house also want to grow their skill set. So we've got nail techs that want to become therapists, we've got therapists that want to become nail techs, we've got hairstylists that want to become fully fledged hairdressers, and we've got salon assistants that want to become, nail techs, etc. So now we've opened up those applications for Sow internally as well. So it works on bursary systems. So we raise the funds. This last year we were able to raise about 150,000 Rand, and we were able to put just over 10 candidates through the Sow Foundation, where they've been able to learn additional skills or new skills to really better themselves and to change their lives fundamentally for the better. So that's the Sow Foundation, which we are very proud of. And then together with Bidvest, which has been an incredible journey, two South African founded companies, both have a common goal around, entrepreneurship, as I mentioned earlier, socioeconomic development, and how can we embrace the beauty community, and especially women within South Africa, to really give them the opportunity to become business owners. They saw the benefit of the beauty industry. It estimated it contributes about 9 billion Rand to the GDP of South Africa. And they said, how do we partner with Sorbet to create opportunities for entrepreneurs who have, once again, don't have access to funding, don't have access to bank loans, to become franchise partners or business owners within this space. And they have been an amazing, amazing partner that we worked with for the last part of a year, and we launched our Sorbetpreneur program last year, towards the back end of last year. And it was our inaugural event. And what it is really is to say to our citizens, so it's only internal, for those of you that wish to become franchise partners, Bidvest will provide you with the unencumbered portion of your funding, and they will provide you with a bank loan for the balance of your funding. So 50% is always required as unencumbered cash. Bidvest will provide that to you as a grant, and then they will also provide you a loan facility for the balance of the 50% of the portion that you need to purchase the store. So we had 75 applicants last year, which just shows you. I mean, I often used to go around to the businesses and to the stores and visit them, and every single time I engage with Sorbet citizens, there was always one that says, "Oh, Linda, I just want to own my own store." I just want to own my own store, and so it really sparked an interest between Bidvest and ourselves to say, how do we make this happen? And as I say, the rest is history now. We've awarded 4 candidates the ability to own their own stores. We've got 3 stores that we are busy working with our candidates now, our winners, to put them into an existing Sorbet franchise store, which has been remarkable. But they went through a very rigorous process. It was almost like a dragon's den, where they had to come into the business case to a panel of judges, and we asked them all the hard questions around, why they would be a good franchise partner, their understanding, their business acumen, their marketing ability, the ability to lead a team, the ability to grow the brand, and we really put them through their hoops. And we are very proud of the 4 candidates that we are nominated to be the first winners of our Sorbetpreneur initiative. In the next couple of months, we'll see them in their own stores. And we will give them the mentorship program and the guidance, because I think that is so important. It's one thing to provide funding for them. That's probably the easiest part of it. But it's about how do you take that's a nail tech, that's a therapist, and say, right, how do you step up into a franchise role? And that critical aspect of our Sorbetpreneur initiative was all around the mentorship program. We wouldn't have been able to do it if it isn't for a fully fledged. We've got a 12-month mentorship program with our partners at Pursuit, and they're very good in terms of creating entrepreneurs and understanding the mentorship side and the guidance and the leadership that these lovely ladies will need in terms of stepping up into a franchise partner role. So we've got a fully fledged, very, very in-depth mentorship program with African Pursuits, more around the leadership side. Bidvest provides the financial mentorship and the guidance around how to manage funds, how to manage loan repayments, what you need to look at, income statements, all of those good things. And then Sorbet provides the operational day-to-day mentorship program. And we will obviously do more than what we do for a standard franchise partner, understanding that there are Sorbetpreneurs and we want them to be successful franchise partners in our industry. So we're very proud of those initiatives, and so this was our first year. We're looking to continue this on an annual basis and have this as an initiative on an annual basis together with Bidvest and other investors that would like to come in as part of this. But really, our partnership is with Bidvest, and it's been an incredible journey. And we've seen the joy and the delight and the motivation in our citizens. Now they can become franchise partners as well.
Wow, that is truly heartwarming. And what you're saying really speaks to the heart of franchising, because you're saying so many things about the franchising model, that it is empowering, and by the nature of franchising, it speaks entrepreneurship. B, that it's not just about the technical skills, it's about giving them all the mentorship and all the holistic skills that go into running a franchise. And C, how franchising can contribute to the economic issues we're facing as a country. And I know the Franchise Association has been pushing with government to lobby government to get more involved in initiatives like you're saying, because that, I believe, is where really the future lies in this country.
Agreed. Entrepreneurship and creating entrepreneurs is what's going to help our unemployment rate. Yes, we can rely on big corporates, but it is really going to come down to entrepreneurs and franchising at the end of the day, because it does create opportunities for employment, for growth. And that's what we said. We want to be part of that solution. It's critical that as a leading brand within the beauty and grooming space, that we are there, and we need to be there more than what we're currently doing now. So we always look for ways to grow that opportunity, to grow our footprint, finding ways to empower people and to better their lives and change their lives, which is ultimately what our higher purposes are. Higher purpose is always about touching lives. How do we make a fundamental difference to the lives of our guests, our citizens, and our franchise partners? So how do we touch their lives and make a difference to South Africa?
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Linda. And I just have been enthralled with how the bigger picture of Sorbet and how you guys see the bigger picture on so many levels. And just talking to you and seeing your passion is just so inspiring for everybody. So, thank you again for joining us and for sharing all those pearls of wisdom.
Thank you, Ilana. It's been fantastic. It's been wonderful engaging. As you say, we are so passionate about our brand and our business and our industry and our people. And it's always such a pleasure. As I said, I've been in franchising for many years, and it's such a, as people say to me, why do you love franchising so much? It's because you can make such a fundamental difference in people's lives, and it's tangible. You can see it every single day. And it comes with a lot of accountability and a lot of responsibility and a lot of hard work, but the rewards way outweigh any of that. And and what you can give back to community and what you can give back to people, and your country is so beautiful. So thank you for the time.
Thank you. Thanks, Linda. And we'll be sure to get you back soon one of these days to hear about more initiatives and more things that you guys are always
lots of exciting new opportunities in the pipeline, and we look forward to it.
Wonderful. Great. Thanks again, Linda. All the best. And thanks to the viewers for joining us and for, listening to the words of wisdom of franchising. I hope it helps you all.
Thank you, Ilana. Thank you.
Thanks. Cheers. Bye-bye.